Hello everyone and welcome back to Brooksburk Zoo. Today we're not starting at the entrance of the zoo because the zoo became so big, and especially our last part, the Garden of the Origins, is so big and is going to be so big so that we are going to start from above and we are flying into our last area in the zoo and having a look at the thing that we did in last week's episode. Garden of Origins, you can see the swans right there on the right side of the restaurant. On the left side we have the fallow deer, the European wild boar and the European bison or weasant. And here now on the right side is the habitat that we built in the last episode for our Wolverine. As I said in the last episode, the habitat is quite big for those two, but yeah, the bigger the better, I guess, for the animals. So the animals won't complain about the big habitat, and neither do I. So what are we going to do today? I think I told you in the last episode, and that's exactly what's going to happen. We are continuing here right next to the shelter of the Wolverine and completing the shelter as well. That is also the first part that we are going to do in today's video. We are going to finish the shelter and building a little shelter for our wolves. Yeah, the wolves are going to move in today. The shelter is not going to be very spectacular. To be completely honest, it's going to be nothing else than just copy and pasting all those pieces from one side to another, so that we have a little indoor area for our grey wolves, so where they can go in having a nap or something, or hide from the visitors, and that's all. So what I wanted to do is I wanted a habitat that you actually in theory could separate, so that we are going to have a big habitat on the side where the shelter is, that we are going to see in a few minutes, and we're going to have another one on the other side of the path. So how is it going to work that the animals can go from one side of the path to the other side? There's two options. For everyone who saw the last episode of Litchfield Zoo, there was the first option that was building a tunnel underneath the path, so that the animals can walk underneath the guests into the habitat on the other side of the path. That is something that would have been possible here. And the other thing is building an overpass. And that's exactly what's going to happen today. First of all, I thought about building a bridge for our visitors where they could walk over the habitat and the animals could walk underneath them into the second part of the habitat. But yeah, the bridge had to be so high that it would have looked ridiculous, and I didn't want that to be that way. So I decided we're going for an overpass that would look so much nicer. So overpass, we did something like this already in the Living Desert for the Sand Cat. So now the Timberwolves are way bigger than a Sand Cat, so we have to build something that is capable of having wolves walk over the heads of our visitors, and taking care that none of the wolves could actually jump down and have a taste of our visitors. So that is something that we have to take care of. But first of all, as I said, just finishing the shelter for the wolves. Sorry, just having to take a sip of my cappuccino. Ooh, that's hot. Okay. I think I burned my tongue a little bit. But yeah, never mind. Okay, so shelter, grey wolves, timberwolves, whatever. What we are going to do, or the plan right now for the Garden of Origins, is that we are going to have at least 5 more episodes until the zoo is finished. So we're going to have the how's it called? We're going to have the Siberian tiger. We're going to have the sloth bear. We are going to have the takin. We're going to have the saiga. And what else? I thought it was 5 more episodes. I just don't know right now. We do have swan, bison, wild boar, Wolverine. So that makes 3 animals from the DLC left out. And we're going to have the Siberian tiger. Okay, so 4 more episodes, but I want to have 5. So I think we're going to have the Amur leopard as well. Or maybe the Przewalski wild horse. That would also be a great addition. Yeah, it's definitely going to be 5 episodes. We're just thinking about how many animals or which animals we do want to have. Yeah, as I said, Siberian tiger, sloth bear, takin and saiga are set, and the 5th animal is going to be whatever I feel like. Okay, so, but back to the overpass. You can already see I built this structure with the rocks, with the real rocks, which simulates the path of the animals where they can walk along here. So then I wanted it to look a little bit more artificial, not too natural, so give it some kind of a look of a mine or something like that. So I decided I'm going to have those wooden pillars in here to give the whole thing a little bit more of stability, also on the top of it, so that it won't crash down and hurt our visitors. And then create the actual overpass here. Yeah, and once again, I did all of this without having any animals in here. So yeah, that in the end it was thoughts and prayers that the animals would be able to walk over there, because I didn't have the chance, or I didn't want to try out if the animals would be able to walk over there. Yeah, I just don't like it when I have the animals in there already and the habitat isn't finished. So that's the main reason why I'm doing things like I do the things in here. So here you can already see we have the slope on the right side, and now we're building the slope on the left side of the habitat. You can actually see the path that is a little bit on the side of the main path. I'm going to delete that because I thought it would be too tight in here for a second path, and the habitat would be too small and wouldn't look that good. So I decided we're not going to do that like this. So a little bit of rock work. We're going into the details later on. First of all, it is time to make the overpass look nice and make it functional. Yeah, now time for the barriers. I thought I'm going to use the barriers that we already do have for the Wolverine, which would make such a great match in here. And then I thought, no, I don't want the mesh fence pieces in here. I want our visitors to be able to have a real good look at the animals, so we are going to have some glass pieces in here. So I deleted the mesh fence pieces. Yeah, connected two of them together, and so we do have the glass piece in here and way better view for our visitors. And I also wanted to block the view so that our visitors cannot see into every angle of the habitat. So I decided to have these wooden beams in here as well to block the view of the visitors and make it look a little bit interesting, and yeah, make it also a little bit more cohesive with the main path that is going through the tunnel right here, where we also used some wooden beams, some different ones, but yeah, we have a similar structure in here. That was the goal. Copying those around once again, and placing some of the glass pieces again as well, so that we have some different angles where our visitors can look into the habitat. Yeah, and once the habitat is finished, we are going to have 5 of the wolves in here. I think it was 2 males and 3 females, so we have a nice pack in here. They are using both sides of the habitat. You're going to see that in the end of the video. And I'm pretty happy with it. First of all, I thought the habitat was quite big for those 5 animals, but yeah, in the end I think it's perfect. It is still a little bit bigger than the animals might have needed it, but yeah, it looks pretty decent, and I think if it was smaller it would have looked a little bit weird, I think. Continuing with the zoo wall, that is something that we also have to finish once the zoo is finished, before we close the chapter in here. Then I thought about the background of the overpass, what I wanted to have, and I didn't want to have any kind of fence around here, so I decided we're going for some rock work as well to make it look a little bit more natural. So like a natural path within the mountains or something like that, and I really do like how it looks. As I said, I didn't try it out if it actually works for the animals. I had to make some adjustments once everything was finished, because at some parts the path was a little bit too small for the animals, so I had to move some of the rocks a little bit more. But in the end everything turned out fine, and the animals are able to use everything in here, can change the sides of the habitat, and in theory you could, that is something that you're going to see in a minute, I guess. Yeah, right at this spot where I'm placing this rock here, so that we are having some kind of an arch, you could actually build something like a gate in here that you could close, so that the animals, so that you could separate the animals, so that you might have a pair of them on the right side of the habitat and also the other 3 on the left side of the habitat, or whatever. Would be possible. I didn't build something like that in there, but yeah, I thought about that, and that would be, yeah, I think that would be a nice idea to have something like this. and would be very realistic, because yeah, when the keepers are going to clean the habitat, you could actually separate the animals on one habitat, clean the other one, and vice versa. Yeah, so the habitat on this side, on the side of the shelter, is going to be a little bit bigger than the other one. I wanted it to be the main habitat for the wolves. And I also put some animal enrichment in both of the habitats. I tried to have the feeding enrichments on the big habitat, and the toy enrichments on the other one. But in the end, I don't know if you will see it in the video. Actually, I don't know if I recorded it, but the keepers are able to use both habitats. It looks a little bit weird, but yeah, in the end, the keepers are able to use the path, the overpass, and actually walk over there to clean both of the habitats. So in this case, it would have been possible to yeah, to have food enrichments in both of the habitats. Yeah, and I thought that as we are starting with huge rock work in here, that we are going to have a habitat for the takin in the next episode, which would be on the back side of the wolf habitat. So when you pass through the tunnel, so then on the left side, I thought it would make total sense if we would have the habitat for the takin in here. And maybe, as I think about that, maybe for comparison, right next to the takin habitat, we could have a habitat for the European ibex as well. So what you guys think about that? Good idea, bad idea? Let me know in the comments. And as we are talking about the comments, I forgot about it once again. It's always the same with me. So this is the perfect time for you guys to hit the like button for this video. So just hit the like button, and if you do so and you haven't subscribed to my channel already, it is also the perfect time to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any further episodes in Brooksburk Zoo, Litchfield Zoo, Bahati Park, and everything else that is on my channel. Yeah, and for everyone that has already subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. This means such a lot to me. It helps me out so much and helps me to provide you guys with new videos, with new real life zoo tours and stuff like that. So thank you very much. Yeah, now it is time for the favorite part in all of my builds, building the interior for the habitat with lots of dead trees. Well, not lots of dead trees, but yeah, some of those, some more rock work in here, and then of course my two favorite plants, the Aristidia grass and the creosote bush. And many others as well, but yeah, you know how it is. Yeah, and as I said that we are coming to an end here in Brooksburk Zoo, I already have so many ideas of the things that I want to do next here in Planet Zoo, but I would also love to hear from you guys what you want to see next. Do you want to see a series where we build another zoo, maybe a special themed zoo, smaller one, big one, Or are you more into something like building workshop items, building buildings for animals? As I said, I want to have something that is called Let's Build a House, where we build animal houses or stuff like that. So let me know in the comment section, and I'm very excited to hear from you guys what you want to see next on this channel. And also, if there's any other park builder games that you enjoy or want to see me build in. I also thought about getting back into Prehistoric Kingdom. I always see so many great photos, and the last update where we got Spinosaurus and I think it was 3 other dinosaurs as well. Carcharodontosaurus or something like that. I just don't know. I want to go back into the game so bad, and I hope to get to be able to work with the controls in the game a little bit better, because that is something that is different from Planet Zoo, and that kept me from going on playing in that game. I really do like that game, because I always said, and I said in the beginning when the game came out, this is the Jurassic World Evolution 2 that we all deserved and wanted to have, because it gives us all the freedom that we wanted and needed. But then the game controls were so different from Planet Zoo that I just wasn't able to get into that. So if there's any other park manager games or stuff like that, just let me know in the comments, and I will have a look at it and think about if we could do something with those other games here on my channel as well. Putting some trees into the habitat and around the habitat. I didn't want to have too much of the trees in the habitat, because you already can see they are throwing shade, and I don't want the habitat to be that dark. So we do have lots of trees around the habitat, so we do have the forest in the background, and that gives already the feeling that we are inside of a forest or something like that. So there's no need to have too many trees in the habitat. A little bit more greenery all around here. And then I think we are almost done and ready for the animals. Here's some decoration outside of the habitat as well. And after that we are good to go. We are ready for our animals and ready for the real-time part. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. If you did so, then this is the second best moment where you can this is the second best time for you guys to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I hope you will tune into next week's episode, where we are going to build the habitat for the Tarkin. And until that, take care, stay healthy, and see you next week. Bye guys.